looking at this is really be mindful of kind of location. So this is a big gap. So we faded off gaps a lot. So we've got to be kind of prepared to fade off, you know, have the gap fade, but we faded off the gap a lot, right? Yesterday's gap, we kind of ran right into resistance. So it's a little bit more, it was a little bit tougher, but now we're kind of over this. And so essentially we're in a range. And when you're in a range, you kind of just go, right? And you fart around between top and bottom of the range. That's just the natural inclination of the market. What I'm kind of watching is, do we hold above yesterday's highs? You know, when you get like kind of like in a range trade, say you get a gap and the gap starts to fade and you can hold above previous day's highs, that's usually a potential kind of bounce spot to watch. And so we'll have to kind of keep an eye on like this zone. If we start to kind of build and hold above this level, you know, we may get ourselves a nice little bounce day, right? And if we don't and we start to fire back down and make lower highs and lower lows, then, you know, back down, you know, into this part of the range we might go. This is a little bit trickier. You got to be prepared for everything. So when you have a range market, right, you have a list of longs, you got a list of shorts, and you're just essentially just kind of flailing in the wind, seeing where it comes. You've got to be prepared for both ways. That's why this is just a little bit of a trickier market for new traders, but that's okay, right? That's what we're here for. Watch list, I kept it really, really simple today on the non-gapper side because there was a lot of gappers. Originally, I had like fucking 15, 20 names on this thing, but there were a lot of good pre-market movers today, so Philip figured I could kind of clean this up. This W day looks nice. Shreya sent this to me. This is a breakout on earnings, pull back to support. You're really tightening up the range there. This thing could break. This twilly ho, you know, could break over this kind of 97. My one worry with this is we're in day one, day two. You know, does it really break on like a day 3 or day 4? Will it, you know, will it have that? I don't know, right? So 50-50. We call it twilly ho for a reason. This RH is still kind of flagging out. It's just kind of hanging out in this range. Not the easiest trade. Or actually, take this off the list. The volume sucks on it. And then I added this CHD. This is Simon's play. This is a big, long kind of flag pattern over here. This is going to be a little bit slower stock. So for those of you 39 and above, I think this is going to be a really nice play because it'll be nice and smooth. For those of you guys 39.2 and below, I think that this will probably bore you a little bit because it's just kind of a easy, smoother kind of play. Also looks like a swing trade in general, so you could play it both ways. Top plays for today, man, this NBIX looks like it could get just shredded. It's already been in a downtrend, so it's like a big rollover pattern anyways. But you've got a lot of airspace down here. You know, 67 bucks. It is a biotechnology stock, so it's going to have that range that we like. Biotechs in general always have a good range. Now, the one thing with this is going to be, right, look how much it's already down, 20%, so the SSR is going to be on it, right? So you can't just short it just to short it, right? You want that kind of like, if you're going to ORB an SSR stock, you want something like a TVTI. This is like your quintessential, right, classic type of ORB, where you gap down, 3 candles, right? You get the tightening of range, then you can short it. So that's going to be really important. That's going to be really important. If you short it on ORB, it's got to look like that, right? And if it doesn't, then, well, it doesn't, right? And that's going to be just the nature of the game. So this is when you short at the open, it's got to look like that, or you got to really leave it alone. There are some other caveats you can use with 1-minute charts and pre-market charts and all that, but frankly, it's going to go way over almost everybody's heads except for, you know, a handful of people that have a knack for this stuff. So we kind of leave those kind of delicacies out of the way. This play is going to have a super nice range too. You got this already $12 for anybody that's ever been to Dave & Buster's, right? These people are evil. You know, you go in there and you spend like a couple $100 to play some video games. When I used to go to Chuck E. Cheese back in the day, mom would give me $5 and you're having the best time of your life. Now, you don't, right? Now, they're charging like $2 for a game. Who gives a shit, right? So we're going to short this thing and we're going to be proud about it because it's Chuck E. Cheese or bust, right? We're not into this kind of fancy stuff, right? This is mid-America over here. Court, big range over here, and a break over the 200-day moving average. Nice juice to this thing. I'm going with this one. I like this one a lot. For the long side, this is really the only one I like on the long side besides DGAS. It should have enough volume. There was 8 million shares yesterday, so we'll keep an eyeball on this bad boy. And then this DGAS might be a base breakout over here. If it can close over the 9, you know, that could start a nice rebound. You've always been basing out for a while. You're getting some pretty good range on this. The one thing with DGAS, UGAS, it's kind of on the ban list. Well, UGAS is on my ban list because of the spread. DGAS spread's a little bit better. So I'll watch this thing. These things do kind of dump out of nowhere. See it every day. You know, you're like trending, and then it's just like, right? The bottom drops out, and then you're kind of left holding the bag on the thing. So I'm B- on this one. I'm actually moving this to the bottom of the list. When you get your gappers, right, start ranking them. You know, move these things around in the list. You know, you don't want to be, you know, you don't want to put DGAS always at your top, right? I got MNK also, and then we got AEO. AEO is a retail stock. So as you guys know how we feel about retail stocks, but this is a bear flag here. You're coming down through it. So you may have just you may have some downside on it, but retail stocks moves like shit. David Buster's is a little bit different because obviously they're evil, and so we have to kind of take them down due to the expensive games. But otherwise, we should be good to go. Man, I can't believe American Eagle. Do they still have those like pouches on the side on their jeans? That used to be the hot thing back in 1998. So we'll take this thing down too. Just put on your list. These retail stocks, sometimes you got to let them pull back to the 9 EMA. But otherwise, they should be good to go. Let me see what everybody else is watching. Okay, ASTC for your little penny poppers. You know, so you got like this kind of longer term range. You could, if this thing holds over 4, yeah, you could definitely play this one. The float on this is going to be pretty tiny, so you'll definitely get some juice on it, some range on it. Yeah, I mean, I'd roll with it for sure. MTBC, you know, this one doesn't do any volume, brother. Like, you know, you're not gonna have trouble getting in and out of this stuff, right? Guys, volume is the fuel that, right, drives stocks. It's a measure of the emotional intensity of how bad people want the stock, right? So think about that. Do you yearn for this stock? And a good case of yearning, woo, that could go a long way. That could make a man do crazy things. And so nobody's yearning for this thing, right? There's no yearn. That's a nice word, man. Why are people not using that more? Woo. So that's where, you know, you got to kind of stay away from this one. What's up, Danny Chow? What up, my friend? VZ? I don't know. Yeah, it could be. VZ, yeah, it looks like some downgrades. In general, it's kind of just, you know, grinding higher. So I think you should be okay. Man, you guys love this ASTC, huh? You little penny poppers. Grub, yeah, this could work. You know, you may have a run to maybe $90 over the next couple, you know, next week or so. If the market holds, definitely this could be a potential. All right, let's get. We got things to do here. Let's see. All right, let me get rid of guys. Clean up your watch list, right? Get rid of all the junk. You know, on any given day, we have so much junk, right? NVIX, play, core, K, AEO. Yes. Sweet. Yeah, clean up all this junk out of your watch list. Add W date. Good. That's the list. These are the non-gappers. These are the gappers. These are the coins. The coins aren't doing anything, so we just watch and stare at them, right? Wishing for better days. Yeah. Now, let's go do what we do, people. As always, it's been real, it's been fun, it's been fast. You could put NBEV on your list, of course. Man, it was ripping and riding yesterday. You know what? People in the chat room were talking about it, and I kind of missed it. You know, I don't know if I was just ignoring everybody or what was going down, but so you got to gap up, pull back to the 9, gap up, pull back to 9, you know, right? So you got a nice trender on it. Remember, never take these breakouts. See this midday breakout? You never want to take those, by the way. They always end up fading. I'm guilty of that too sometimes. But yeah, you had a nice trend on this thing. As long as it can hold over here, I do think you'll probably have a little bit of upside to it. It had a nice day, nice volume. This thing is a turd, but you guys already know it's a turd. And the thing is, you know, a lot of stocks are turds. But remember, we're humans. We all have to poop, right? It's just a natural thing. So sometimes you got to play these things. And, you know, if you like small caps, I'd go with it, right? You know, same type of deal. This thing, this ASTC is going to be a big turd. But sometimes that's what you got to do. Yeah, this thing's holding. You know, I think you might have a little action on this thing. Cool. All right, man. Be good. Be great. It's, what day is it? Wednesday? It's hump day, right? Let's go out and make a little money. Let's go out and have a little fun. Guys, check out, don't forget on YouTube, I've been putting in some trading videos. 7 Deadly Sins of Trading. Day 1 was, I don't know. Day 2 was gambling. Day 3, I should have it released out in the next couple hours or something like that. Have a little fun with it. We're ending the year strong. You know, December usually sucks at trade, but this December's been awesome. It's been more than enough action to go do what you got to do. Peace, friends.